Hey everyone. Today I'm really excited to share with you, demo, and review the new Invader 2 virtual analog synth by E-Phonic. Before getting this synth, I had never heard of the developer E-Phonic. I saw their name mentioned on a forum and that they were doing a pay-what-you-want system for this particular plugin, and it immediately sparked my interest. The developer E-Phonic is letting you decide what you'd like to pay for this plugin, anywhere in the range of €5 to €100. I'm a huge fan of free plugins and cheap plugins in general, especially when they're high quality, and this plugin is no exception. If you're not interested in watching this entire review, I will tell you that Invader 2 is a very high quality, great sounding plugin. What you see is what you get with Invader. Everything's laid out right in front of you, and there's very few menus to dive into. For somebody who might be interested in learning how to program virtual synths, this is a great plugin. In the past, some of my plugin reviews haven't been very organized, so I developed a template that I'm going to use to review this plugin and future plugins. The template I'm going to be using and the categories I'm going to cover in this video are what the plugin is, the price and cost, background information about the plugin, and any information from the developer site, the features of the plugin, the GUI of the plugin, the presets, what the plugin does well, what could be improved, and do you need this plugin for your productions? Now let's dive into the features of E-Phonic Invader 2 with some information from the developer. Easy yet powerful. Invader 2 is an 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer. It was designed to be easy to program while still offering a wide range of sounds and possibilities. Features: knob per function interface. What you see is what you get. 2 oscillators plus 1 sub-oscillator, triangle, saw, pulse wave, sync pulse, sync saw, saw to pulse waveforms. Polyphonic stereo unison with optional low CPU unison emulation mode, up to 48 voices. 3 low-pass resonant filter types: low-pass clean, low-pass raw, and bandpass. Filter drive or high-pass option. On filter low-pass 1, you have the high-pass function that you can toggle on and off, and on filter low-pass 2, you have a drive function that replaces it. Stereo noise generator. Here in your mixer, you have a volume fader for noise. Ring modulation. 2 low-frequency oscillators with delay function. 2 envelopes, delay effect with a normal, ping-pong, tape, and diffusion delay modes, an arpeggiator with a 16-step sequencer, 4x oversampling engine, medium and high quality modes, and 200 plus presets. And I will say that the presets built into the plugin sound great. I currently have the first bass patch loaded up, Auto Bass, and I'm going to mess with some of the features of the synth to give you an idea of what you can do with the synth. Here's what the stock bass sound sounds like. I really like the filters in this plugin. I'm not sure if they're modeled after any analog hardware, but they sound great. And on filter low pass 2, we can drive. Another cool feature of the filters is you can choose a modulation source. So let's select LFO 1. I'll go over to my LFO, and you can tempo sync it. Let's use a quarter note and a triangle waveform. And now we can modulate the cutoff frequency of this filter using this fader here. If you click on this box in the oscillators, you can change your waveform. You can also use a phase offset on the particular waveform. You can use the frequency knob on the oscillator to change the tuning of that oscillator relative to the other one. You also have scale options for octave control. Let's choose a different bass patch. Here's the bouncer preset. You have filter key tracking options, as well as filter envelope options, and resonance for the filter. Let's try the bandpass mode for the filter. You can get a really cool sounding acid bass with that. You can see on the top we have the filter envelope, and on the bottom we have the Amplitude envelope. Down here we have our mixer, and you can select a particular waveform for your sub-oscillator, and then you can use the faders to mix in the amount of oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 you want, as well as ring modulation, noise, and main is going to control the overall volume being output by all of the sources. The unison function in this plugin is awesome. You can create some very rich, wide analog sounds using this. It says you can use up to 48 voices. That must be the 6x8 right here. Moving on, we have the delay section, which can be tempo synced. Let's hear what that sounds like. It's nice that they include a low-pass filter in the delay. Next we have the voice section, which contains global tuning and glide for the synth. If you click here on the A440 button, it gives you an A440 tone that will allow you to tune your oscillators either closer to or further away from this A440 fundamental. And glide has multiple options: auto, retrigger, and always on. Next is the Arpeggiator and Sequencer. It gives you a couple different modes here: up, down, sequencer play, polyphonic, sequencer play, sequencer, and sequencer record. It can be tempo synced, and you can turn this knob and see up in the left top corner of the plugin, it's giving you your different times. You also have octave range here. You also have your standard Pitchbend, modulation wheel, and Aftertouch wheel in the plugin, and you can use a source to modulate them. Up here you have your quality mode. By default it's set to medium. Just click it to toggle on high quality. You can also transpose the synth up or down octaves, and you can select pitch drift. Clicking on the options menu will allow you to change your UI size. As the developer said, what you see is what you get with Invader 2. Pretty much everything that you can control is right in front of you here. You don't have to dive into any menus. The synth has a lot of features and they sound very high quality, but it doesn't have an overwhelming amount of features, which is nice. The preset menu is right here. Just click on this bar and you have access to your categories and your presets in that category. That pretty much covers all of the features of Invader 2. Now let's move on to the GUI. I personally am a big fan of this GUI. No menu diving. Everything's right in front of you. They didn't go for a skeuomorphic design where they tried to make it look 3D. I like the dark color scheme, it's easy on the eyes. The resize function is nice. Navigating presets is very easy. Navigating your waveforms is very easy. Using sources to modulate other sources is easy. It's very easy to understand in general. And it's also very easy to make great sounds with it. I also think the wood grain is a cool touch. It doesn't add anything to the plugin, but it looks very nice. What don't I like about this plugin? Honestly, only one thing, and that's the fact that you're limited to 8-voice polyphony. If they bump this up to 16-voice polyphony, I think they'll be going above and beyond. The limitation in voice polyphony is pretty much the only thing that I think could be improved. Next I'm going to demo my favorite presets from each category that are built into Invader 2. Thanks to the simpler nature of the plugin and its layout, it's very easy to change presets and create your own unique sound. I would say ease of use is one of the best things about this plugin. What does Invader 2 do well? It creates rich, warm, high-quality analog-style sounds without being modeled after an exact piece of analog hardware. It allows the user to create their own presets with ease. It has a lot of great built-in sounds. It has a good amount of flexibility, but isn't overwhelming. And it won't be too intimidating to somebody who's new to programming virtual analog synths. Another thing to consider with this plugin is, even in high-quality mode with a lot of instances, this plugin is very easy on your CPU. Do you need this plugin? Is it better than what you have built into your stock DAW? You may actually have more flexibility with something like Logic's Retro Synth. The way that everything is laid out on Invader, in my opinion, makes it easier to work with than Logic's Retro Synth. But ultimately, what makes it great in my opinion is the sound quality. Considering they have a pay-what-you-want model, I would say it's worth picking this plugin up and supporting the developer. I think they're doing a great service to producers and musicians like myself by letting you choose what you want to pay. I think I would have been more hesitant to go check this plugin out had it been 50 or 100 euro, even though this is probably worth 50 to 100 euro in terms of its sound quality and usability. So thank you E-Phonic for giving us the opportunity to check this plugin out, especially if you're on a tighter budget. As I said, the only drawback in my opinion is the limitation of 8-voice polyphony. I've also noticed that my DAW will crash when I try to duplicate channels of Invader 2. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and hopefully this bug gets fixed in future versions. I'm using the AU version considering I'm working on a Mac and in Logic. Overall, do you need this plugin? Maybe you don't need it, but if you want it, it's worth picking up. I would highly recommend it. I think I'm going to be using this in a lot of my future productions, for genres like synthwave, retro house, even some hip-hop stuff where I want a deep analog sub-bass. Invader does sci-fi sounds very well. Anything where you're trying to create an analog-style sound and you want high-quality sound. I can definitely see myself using this plugin a lot more in the future. And I can also see myself going to check out what else E-Phonic releases. Now I'll give you a breakdown of how I rated this plugin in every category, out of 10. I'll total up all of the categories and give it a final score. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support that the community has given me. It keeps me motivated to make videos like this and hopefully give people some information about plugins. Maybe you took something away from this video and you're interested in going to purchase this plugin, or maybe you realize you don't need a plugin like this. Either way, thank you so much for supporting me, and consider supporting E-Phonic.